I am not 100% sure what I'm doing right now. What's up, Agents? Zero here, and welcome back to another episode of the Piston House. Now, before we get started, I do have a question that I want to ask you guys before we do anything. So I'm noticing that I don't particularly get too many views on this particular series to begin with. So here's the question: do I end this series after this episode and just completely finish the house on my own time, or do you want me to actually finish this as an on-camera series, actually finish the Piston House and have you guys see it? That's kind of the thing that I'm wondering, because even though I'm technically a small YouTuber, I'm getting a small amount of views for this particular series to begin with, and I don't want to make things you guys aren't interested in, and I'm starting to think maybe with the small amount of views I'm getting on this series, maybe you guys are getting bored. That's kind of why I'm asking. So let me know down in the comment section whether you want me to actually continue this series on, or just go ahead and end it off here and actually finish the rest of it on my own time. But with that out of the way, yeah, I just kind of wanted to ask you guys about that before we got started. So yeah, basically what I want to get done in this episode is I want to go ahead and get started on the upstairs. And the reason I want to go ahead and get started on the upstairs is because, well, for one thing, it's kind of an overdue project. I mean, the first few episodes, I was working on the actual basement itself. If I can go ahead and activate, there we go. So the first few episodes we were down here in the basement, we got that all done, aside from our problematic super smelter, which I actually haven't tested to see, since we did get 1.1. I don't know if they fixed any redstone bugs, so it's possible that's been taken care of. I'm not 100% sure. Then when we got that done, we started on the stairs, and then we got working on the kitchen and the dining room, and I kind of want to go ahead and get the upstairs finished because A, like I said, it's an overdue project, and B, it's the upstairs. And the dining room's, I know this seems a little bit off topic, but there's a reason I'm about to say this. The dining room is a bit oversized, and that is not how I initially planned to have this set out. I also ended up moving the dining room ceiling up by 1 block, so the chandelier is actually extended by just 1 fence post. I don't know if you guys noticed that. You probably didn't. I probably didn't have to say anything you guys wouldn't have known. So I want to go ahead and use the staircase and actually have it so that the floor of this area is actually the ceiling of another area, but I haven't fully decided how I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm thinking maybe I can just go ahead and make this like a little bit of a hallway, and from there just do like the living room directly underneath the upstairs. I mean, that is definitely a possibility. I'm just kind of thinking out loud right now because that's kind of how my videos work for these kind of things, that I kind of do think out loud in order to try to figure out what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm definitely going to go ahead and do that. So the floor right here is going to end up being the ceiling for the living room, which I still need to figure out how I'm going to set the living room up. So this is going to be effectively the front of the house. And something I suppose I could do, let me go ahead and break, actually, here's a bit of a question. If I place down lamps back here, is this even going to end up affecting the interior? Because back here, as you can obviously tell, I don't know if it's obvious. I need to be on this one to get the redstone lamp. I forgot. I've got the circuitry for the staircase going, and I'm not 100% sure. I need to put a lamp here. If this is going to end up affecting the redstone above, and apparently it did not. Which is good to know. Okay. So I'm going to leave the redstone lamp there. And I do believe I can go ahead and put down a redstone lamp right here. Turn that on. That doesn't seem to be affecting the redstone from the inside, which is what I do want. If I go ahead and place down a lamp right here, yeah, it should turn on. Okay. So we've got some form of light underneath. I know I said I was going to work on the upstairs, and I am going to work on the upstairs in this episode anyway, which kind of leads to the question, why am I putting floor down? And chicken, you're kind of in my way. So, if I want to go ahead and have the living room down here, but I said I wanted to do the upstairs in this episode, it wouldn't make sense as to why I'm actually doing the downstairs first. All I'm trying to do is kind of get a feel for how big of a space I want this to be. If I can map that out, then I think I should be good. And something I was literally just thinking about doing was putting this row of blocks right here. I don't know why I needed to do that. So probably because that corner right there was bugging me. I don't know why it was important now. So this is where the bedroom is going to end up being, is up here. But I don't have any designs as far as what the bedroom should look like. I mean, I have an idea for a redstone machine in mind that I could in fact put in. And obviously this is technically a piston house, so it would only make sense that what I want to put in is in fact piston related. Although I'm debating what I want to put in this. Here's what I'm thinking. I want to put in a light source that can be retracted, which is actually rather simple to put together if you really think about it. Then again, redstone is technically kind of my specialty, so me saying something is simple doesn't necessarily say too much. Oh my gosh, I say all this stuff about me being good at redstone, but there's probably some of you out there who are thinking like, oh, I'm probably better at redstone than he is, and there's a good chance you're actually right. Because granted, I do a lot of work with redstone, I do tutorials, there are probably some of you out there who are thinking that they can do better than me, and I wouldn't disagree with them, just saying I do a lot of work with redstone. I probably should shut up about that. So here's my thought, and I should probably pull out the proper redstone materials in order to do this. So I need redstone dust, redstone repeaters, redstone torch. Normally whenever I start these videos off, I have all the stuff in my inventory ready to go, but I didn't do that this time. And I'm not entirely sure why I didn't do that. And something I think might look good in this particular room is maybe some glass windows, just to give it a little bit of a nice look. I'm going to leave that like that for now. I'm probably going to add more later, but for right now that's fine. Alright, so now I should actually, no, let's go ahead and extend this out by a couple more. And I'm going to be completely honest about what I'm about to build. So, this is going to be a block swapper, but it's going to be for a light source. And the thing about this is that by the time it's done being built, in order for me to hide the redstone, it's going to end up having a bit of a false wall, which admittedly sounds a bit weird, but in order to get the redstone in and make it look pleasant from the outside, I don't know why I chose to use the word pleasant, it kind of needs to happen. So here's what I'm thinking. If I put a block here, and I'm going to place a block here, let's place, oh wait, I need to bring this out by one more block. I need to put a sticky piston facing in this direction, and then from here what I need to do is I need to place down a couple blocks down like this, block out to this side, block out to this side. By the way, this is not something I designed. You guys probably remember me mentioning a guy by the name of Mumbo Jumbo a couple times. In fact, last week's video I actually ended up doing a proper redstone tutorial on a block swapper that he had designed. Let me go ahead and pull this over by one block further. Yeah, I'm going to pull this over by one block further. Actually, how much room do I have to work with? Not a whole lot. You know what? I'll extend this out. That shouldn't be a problem. And I'll extend it out to, you know what, this wall. Because why not? So if I go ahead and bring it out this far, this should give me plenty of space to work with. Yeah, this should definitely work. Because if I can get a bit of work done on this side, if I can have a lot of room to work, that's definitely going to help me out. So let me go ahead and start tearing this down. And I'm going to put more than one of these in this wall. I might only have room to put two, though. I might only have enough room to put two of these. Which I suppose isn't too big of a problem. And admittedly, this is probably one of the most boring process for me to go through, is to just simply place blocks down like this. But you know what? At least there's a reason behind this. And plus, I think this would probably make for a relatively decent sized house. I mean, it's not very big on the back side at the moment. And I think this tree, yeah, this tree might be a problem. Yeah, I'm going to have to get rid of this tree. What I'm just going to simply do right now is I'm going to go ahead and take out the logs and let the leaves decay on their own. I don't know how long that's going to take, though. But this tree is definitely going to end up being a problem. So here's what I'm thinking. Let me go and extend this window out, just because I've got a little bit of OCD. I don't know why. So I'm going to be placing down... Oh, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to be placing this down... No, right here. Because why not? And then if I pull this out by 3 blocks, get rid of these 2 blocks, place the sticky piston back here. And this is where our false wall is going to end up being. That's just how it's going to work out. So I put that there, come this out like this. And then I need to bring out a block like this. A block like this, and I need to place down a sticky piston right here facing in this direction, and the same thing on the other side. So sticky piston right here in that direction, Now the next step, I need to... Hold on, I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to wire this up. I didn't think this through. I'm trying to think here, how can I wire this up and have it effective? You know, I actually have a little bit of an idea. Whether or not this is going to work is another question. I may just end up having to make the front of the house a little bit of a false wall as well. Or maybe I could just make this the front door. Oh, but then what about the wiring on this thing? That's the real question here. Let's put this in the ceiling, because why not? So if I go ahead and place this here, place this here, and I broke the blocks that I kind of needed. But this is going to all work out in the end anyway. So if I go ahead and place down blocks like this, get rid of this block right here, place a block up like this, block right here, sticky piston facing in this direction like that. And now let's go ahead and wire up the redstone, because I know some of you guys are probably curious on what I'm even doing, because I'm just simply placing down blocks and pistons right now. I'm not really doing much of anything. Might as well pick up these saplings, because why let them sit down everywhere? Alright, so if I go ahead and place down a torch here, place down a torch here. Now what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to place down a redstone lamp right here. And I'm just going to leave that side blank. If I go ahead and place down redstone dust here, place down redstone dust here. And so if I go ahead and cap this off like this. There we go. And so here, I'm just going to do something real simple. Actually, let me go ahead. I'm going to remove these from my inventory. Let me get out a lever. I'm going to place the lever down right here and turn it on. And so now I do believe, let me go ahead and put down, I'm just going to do this real simple for right now. I'm just going to place down one button for right now, just so you guys get an understanding of what's going on. And so if I have this done, so that means if I go ahead and press this button right here, yep, that does exactly as I want it to. And if I go ahead and press the button again, yep, that works exactly as intended. Okay, that's good to know. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to replicate the same thing on the other side. And obviously, I don't know if it's going to be, I don't know if the people who are going to download this map are even going to notice the levers on the top of the house. I'm not entirely sure, but we'll see how things turn out. So let's see, how many blocks in with this was this? So 1, 2, 3. So then 1, 2, 3. If I go ahead and place down a block here. So then if I go ahead and pull this out right here, and then pull this out 1, 2, go up a block, go up another block, if I go ahead and place down my redstone torch first, place the sticky piston on top of it. There we go. So let's go ahead and place down a block like this for right now. Now I need to go ahead and put down the sticky pistons once again. It's a very simple circuit, very easy to build. The only issue that I have encountered with this is that occasionally when you leave the world, it forgets how the blocks are supposed to be oriented. Sometimes the blocks will extend out in the other direction. But I think for the most part, this should be fine. And I need to think of a way to wire up the button. I think I have an idea though. So if I go ahead and put down the redstone torches, they should automatically go off. If I go ahead and place down redstone dust like this, I think what I could possibly do. Let me see if I can find the center of this. So 2 blocks here, 2 blocks here. Is this even centered? Oh, it is. Okay, that's good to know. If I go ahead and place a block here, place a button down. I'm going to place down a block here. I'm going to place down a block here. And I think what I could do... Actually, how am I going to do this? I'm not 100% sure. I have an idea. Suppose I go ahead and do this. Put a redstone torch right here. Put a redstone torch right here. Now use this to invert everything. Actually, that's just going to create a redstone clock, I do believe. Yeah, that's just going to create a redstone clock. Yeah, if I go ahead and place redstone dust down like this, yeah, it just creates a clock. So I'm trying to think how I can do this. I've got an idea. What if I take this out? Right. This is kind of tough. Suppose I can make it maybe if I do I am not 100% sure what I'm doing right now. Maybe what I could do, let's go ahead and get rid of that for right now. Actually, I think I might have an idea. So, this video is going on a lot longer than I thought it would. Maybe what I could do... is I can take and place redstone dust right here, place down a repeater like this. Yeah, this should work. This should work. Let's do this. And actually, let me go ahead and switch this one around by pressing a button once. Alright. That should be fine. And I need to go ahead and do the same thing on this side. So if I go ahead and put down a block down right here, place down redstone dust right here, the repeater right here, maybe. There we go. If I do something along these lines, I should be fine. Although I don't immediately need those there. Just do this. Let's go ahead and test to see if this does exactly as intended. No. I think I know why. Let's go ahead and break this and this. Let's break this and this. Place down a block right here. Place down a block right here. Place a repeater going in this direction. Place a repeater going in this direction. This was admittedly like the hardest part of this entire build. Let's see if this does the trick. That worked. That actually worked. Okay, that's good to know. So now I can just cap the rest of this off as a wall. And then in between episodes, I'm going to create the false wall, which admittedly is probably not the smartest thing to call it, but it's not like I have too much of a choice. But that's it for, well, it's actually not it. That's it for the redstone for this room. I still need to decorate it. If I go ahead and cap this off again just like this, and I do believe it needs to go right here. There we go, flick that on. So now if I go ahead and press the button, they should come out and flick turn on. And why did that not work? Because they were in the wrong position. No, it's because blocks didn't update. I have such a bad tablet. Blocks don't always update. But that was rather interesting to try to figure out. I mean, granted it did take a few moments to try to figure out how to wire this up. I did manage to figure it out in the end. I'm trying to think of a good place to go ahead and land. But that was actually rather interesting to set up, because I thought that would make for a very cool redstone build to put in this, because this is, like I said, a redstone house, so I thought maybe it would look cool. But you know what, that's probably going to do it for this video. I've been recording for a lot longer than I normally do. I've gone for like half an hour, and I do very minimal editing whenever I make these videos, so that's probably gonna end up making a half an hour video. But you know what, I made a rather interesting project, I'd like to say. But yeah, that's gonna have to do it for this video. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed. If you did, make sure that like button. Well, more than make sure that subscribe button for future content. Also, you can follow me on Twitter at AgentCPU0 to stay updated. This has been Zero Studios. Thank you guys for watching. Again, in the comment section, let me know if you actually want me to complete this project on camera or just kind of do the rest of it off camera. This is completely up to you, because as I said, I feel like I'm losing support on this series, and that's why I'm asking. But yeah, with that, I will see you guys later.